Can you believe it? Just 1 minute before intimacy, there's a simple routine you can do that can bring back the kind of firmness you haven't felt in decades. And I'm not talking about some fringe folk remedy or an expensive gadget you saw on late night TV. I'm talking about science, real documented science that has surprised doctors all over the world. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lily Harper. For over 15 years now, I've been working with men right here in the States on questions about men's health, confidence, and intimate wellness. And today I want to share something that could genuinely change the way you and your partner experience closeness. You don't need pills, you don't need supplements, you don't need to spend a dime at the pharmacy. Everything I'm about to share with you, you can do at home starting tonight. But here's the thing, most guys have no idea any of this exists. They just quietly struggle year after year, thinking this is just what getting older looks like. It isn't. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 methods, and I want you to pay special attention to the 5th one. That's the one my patients always say hits them like a lightning bolt. Stick with me all the way through, because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete blueprint. Let me start with something most people don't realize. A man's ability to achieve firmness isn't decided in the moment. It's decided in the minutes right before. What kind of shape is your body in? What's going on in your head? Is your blood flowing freely, or is it sluggish? Are your nerves calm, or are you wound up tight like a spring? These things matter more than anything else. A major study out of the American Urological Association back in 2023 found that men over 50 who spent just 1 minute preparing their body and mind beforehand had success rates roughly 4 times higher than men who didn't. 4 times. And they weren't doing anything exotic. They were doing exactly the kinds of things I'm about to teach you: deep breathing, gentle muscle engagement, mental focus. Now, I want you to understand why this works, because once you get the why, the how becomes so much easier. Firmness depends on 4 things working together: your blood flow, your nerves, your hormones, and your mental state. When all 4 are humming along, your body responds beautifully. But here's the reality for most men over 60 in America today. You've spent decades under stress. You've worked long hours, raised families, paid mortgages, weathered recessions. Your nervous system is running on high alert more often than not. Even when you want to relax, your body doesn't quite know how to let go. On top of that, research from the National Vascular Institute shows that after age 40, the flexibility of your blood vessels drops by about 30%. That means blood doesn't move as freely as it used to. So even if you're aroused, even if everything mentally feels right, the plumbing just can't keep up without a little help. That's what this 1 minute routine is really about, giving your body the nudge it needs to work the way it used to. Now, I want to address something before we go any further, because I read every comment on my videos. A lot of you write in asking, Dr. Harper, I have diabetes. Can I still do this? Or my blood pressure medication has been messing things up. Will this help? Here's the honest truth. These techniques are safe for almost everyone, including men with well-managed diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart conditions. None of them involve medications. None of them raise your blood pressure in a dangerous way, and none of them interact with prescriptions. Of course, if you've had a recent heart event or major surgery, have a quick chat with your doctor first. But for the vast majority of you watching right now, these are tools you can start using tonight. And I promise you, nobody needs to know you're doing any of this. It's completely private. Okay, let's get into method number 1. The first method is deep breathing, and I can already hear some of you saying, "Really, doc? Breathing, that's it?" Trust me on this one. Don't sell it short. A study from Harvard Medical School in 2021 tracked men over 50 who did just 30 seconds of controlled deep breathing before intimacy. Their blood oxygen levels climbed by about 15%, and blood flow during the critical moment increased by a full 25%. 30 seconds. That's less time than it takes to brush your teeth. Here's why it works so well. Firmness happens when your body is in what we call a parasympathetic state. Basically, when you're relaxed, but most men walking into the bedroom aren't relaxed at all. You're worried. What if it doesn't work tonight? What if I disappoint her? What if my body lets me down again? Every single one of those thoughts kicks your body into fight or flight mode. Your blood vessels tighten, your muscles tense up, and your body quite literally shuts down the blood flow you need most. Deep breathing flips that switch instantly. 3 slow, deliberate breaths are enough to signal your nervous system that everything's okay, you're safe, you can let go. Your blood vessels open up, your muscles soften, and the blood starts moving again. There's a second reason deep breathing works too, and that's oxygen. Firmness actually requires a surprising amount of oxygen in your blood, but most of us breathe shallowly all day long without even realizing it. When you take deep intentional breaths, you saturate your bloodstream with oxygen, and that oxygen-rich blood is exactly what your body needs to perform. So here's how you do it. Sit or stand up straight, shoulders relaxed. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, feeling your belly expand, not just your chest. Hold that breath for 3 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do that 3 times. That's about 30 seconds total. You can do it in the bathroom, in the hallway, sitting on the edge of the bed. Nobody will notice, not even your partner. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank's a retired mechanic from Cleveland, 68 years old, came to see me because he said he felt like his body had betrayed him. He'd get into the moment and his mind would race. Tight chest, racing heart, you know how it goes. I had him try this breathing routine for 2 weeks. He came back and said it felt like somebody turned the volume down on all the noise in his head. And the physical results followed. He told me he hadn't felt that calm, that present, and that ready in years. That's the power of 30 seconds of breathing. And here's a bonus. Deep breathing also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, which means you're not just helping yourself in the moment, you're helping your body long term. This is the kind of thing I wish every man over 60 knew, but somehow nobody teaches it. All right, once you've got your breathing down, we move to the second step, which is flipping the switch in your brain. The second method is about mental and visual engagement, and this is where a lot of men get it wrong. Here's what the science tells us. A fascinating study out of Cambridge University's Neuroscience program in 2020 showed that when a man focuses on the right kind of imagery, and I'll explain what I mean by that, the reward center of his brain lights up within seconds, releasing dopamine, which is a pleasure chemical that cascades through the whole body. That dopamine is what sparks physical readiness. Now here's where men make a mistake. A lot of guys reach for extreme content online, thinking that'll jumpstart things. But research shows that actually backfires for men over 60. Your nervous system gets overstimulated, you become desensitized, and your body stops responding to the natural cues it should be picking up from your partner. What actually works, and works beautifully, is something much more intimate and personal. I want you to think about a specific memory. A moment with your partner that felt charged, warm, connected. Maybe it's the way she laughed at something you said on your 3rd date. Maybe it's a quiet morning on vacation. The 2 of you sitting on a porch somewhere. Maybe it's the first time you saw her in that dress she wore to your daughter's wedding. Whatever it is, hold that picture in your mind for a moment. That kind of memory activates your brain differently than anything you'll ever see on a screen. It releases not just dopamine, but oxytocin too, the bonding hormone. And it does something extraordinary. It tells your body, this person is safe, this person is loved, this is where I want to be. And your body responds accordingly. If your partner is right there in the room, even better. Just look at her. Really look, notice something specific. And the line of her jaw, the softness of her hair, the way she moves when she's about to smile. Say something genuine if it feels right. You look beautiful tonight. I love the sound of your laugh. You'd be amazed how much those small moments of presence do for your physical response. The goal isn't performance. The goal is connection. The irony is, the less you worry about performing, the better your body performs. Here's how I want you to put this into practice. 1 to 2 minutes before intimacy, slow down. Think of a specific memory or look at your partner intentionally. If you have an old photograph somewhere of the 2 of you, maybe from a trip, maybe from an anniversary, let yourself really see it. Bring the feelings back. That's it. It sounds almost too simple, but the neuroscience is clear. Tom, one of my patients from Phoenix, Arizona, he's 68, told me he used to get so nervous before intimacy that he'd basically shut down mentally. I walked him through this exact exercise, just pausing, picturing a specific memory, letting himself feel connected first. He told me the difference was night and day. Said it felt less like pressure and more like coming home. That's exactly what this step is designed to do. Your body follows where your mind leads, so lead it somewhere loving, somewhere safe, somewhere warm. Now we move to method number 3, and this one is about your body itself. We're talking about the pelvic floor muscles. I know the name sounds clinical, but bear with me, because these little muscles are one of the most underappreciated secrets of men's health. A study from Oxford University published in 2019 found that men who strengthened their pelvic floor saw an average 40% improvement in firmness and the ability to maintain it. That's a huge number. And yet, most American men have no idea these muscles even exist, let alone how to train them. So where are they? Your pelvic floor is basically a hammock of muscles that runs from your tailbone to your pubic bone. They support your bladder, they're involved in how you urinate, and critically, they help control the blood that flows into the penis, and, just as importantly, keep it there. A lot of firmness issues aren't about getting blood in, it's about keeping it in, and the pelvic floor is the gatekeeper. As men age, especially if you've spent decades at a desk or driving for a living, these muscles get weak. Nobody teaches you to use them. But here's the good news. You can wake them back up at any age. Seriously. I've worked with men in their 70s who've seen remarkable changes within 3 weeks. Here's how to find the muscle and how to train it. Sit comfortably or stand up straight. Now, without tightening your belly, your thighs, or your rear end, I want you to imagine you're trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. That subtle lift, that little squeeze, that's your pelvic floor. Squeeze it. Hold for 5 seconds, then slowly release. Do that 10 times. The whole thing takes about a minute. That's one set. You can do a set once a day, and if you want faster results, do 2 or 3 sets spread throughout the day. And here's the beautiful part. Nobody can tell you're doing it. You can do these while you're sitting at a red light, watching the news, waiting in line at the bank, or lying in bed before you fall asleep. Bob, a patient of mine from upstate New York, 65 years old, came in discouraged. He'd get things started but couldn't maintain. He told me he felt like a deflating balloon and it was killing his confidence. I gave him this exact routine, 1 minute a day. He came back after 2 weeks and said, "Doc, I don't know what's happening down there, but something's waking up." That's the muscle regaining its strength. By week 4, he was a different man. And I'll tell you something else. Strengthening these muscles helps with more than just firmness. Many of my patients report better bladder control and a deeper sense of confidence in their own body. Urologists across the country actually recommend this as a first-line approach because there are 0 side effects, no medications, no costs. It's just your body doing what it's designed to do when given the chance. So, right before intimacy, take 1 minute and do your pelvic floor squeezes. You're essentially priming the engine. The muscle wakes up, blood flows in and stays in, and you're set up beautifully for what comes next. All right, let's talk about method number 4, your mindset. This is where a lot of guys over 60 stumble, and I see it every single week in my practice. You can have perfect blood flow, strong muscles, the whole physical package. But if your mind is stuck in a negative loop, none of it works. Your brain is the captain of the ship. A 2022 study from Stanford University found that men who adopted a positive mental framework before intimacy showed a 30% faster response time compared to men who didn't. That means just thinking the right thoughts genuinely changes what happens in your body. The mind-body connection is real and it's powerful. Here's the problem. Most men I talk to carry around a library of bad memories. The night it didn't work, the time she gave you a look, the embarrassment you swore you'd never feel again. And the more you dwell on those moments, the more your body braces for another failure. It's a vicious cycle. Anxiety tightens the blood vessels. Shame drops your testosterone response. Fear of disappointing your partner makes it impossible to be present with her. So you end up creating the very thing you're trying to avoid. I've seen it hundreds of times. The good news is you can break that cycle, and it's easier than you'd think. Before intimacy, I want you to take a moment, maybe while you're in the bathroom brushing your teeth or getting ready for bed. Look yourself in the mirror and say 3 simple things. I'm okay tonight. We're here to enjoy each other. I've got this. It feels a little silly the first time. I know. American men aren't usually raised to talk to themselves like that. But there's a reason therapists and athletes use this technique. It works. Psychologists call it priming. When you feed your brain positive thoughts in advance, your behavior and your physical responses shift to match. It's like telling your body which direction to lean. I also want you to remember that intimacy isn't a performance review. It's not graded. Your partner isn't keeping score. She's not comparing you to some fantasy. She's with you because she loves you. Harold, a patient of mine from Tampa, 72 years old, used to torture himself before every intimate moment, replaying every past failure. He told me once, "Doc, I'm already defeated before we even start." I had him try this mindset work, positive self-talk, recalling good memories, releasing the need to perform. He came back 2 months later and told me his whole approach had changed. He said, "I stopped trying to pass a test and started trying to have a good time. Everything else fell into place." And I'll tell you one more thing that helps enormously. A little humor goes a long way. Laugh with your partner. Crack a small joke. Share a smile. When the two of you can laugh together, the tension melts. Your nervous system relaxes. Her nervous system relaxes. And your bodies sync up in a way that no pill could ever replicate. The trap to avoid is perfectionism. If you walk into the bedroom telling yourself, "This absolutely has to work tonight," you've basically guaranteed the opposite. Let go of the pressure. Make it about connection, not conquest. Make it about tonight, not last time. That's the mindset that unlocks everything. Now we're at the fifth method, the one I promised would blow you away. This one works so fast that even my most skeptical patients walk out of my office raising their eyebrows. It's called targeted warming, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A study published by the Japanese Urological Society in 2018 found that warming the area around the groin for just 40 seconds caused blood vessel dilation to increase by 40%. 40% in less than a minute. Think about that for a second. And here's what's fascinating. When you combine warming with everything we've just talked about, the deep breathing, the mental focus, the pelvic floor activation, the positive mindset, the effects multiply. This is the finishing move. This is what brings the whole routine together. Why does warming work so well? Cold and stress both constrict your blood vessels. Warmth opens them right back up. For men over 60, whose blood vessels are already less flexible, this is like giving your body a green light. Blood rushes in, the tissue responds, and firmness follows almost immediately. Here's exactly how to do it. Take a clean washcloth, run it under warm water from the tap. Not hot, you don't want to burn yourself, just comfortably warm, like a warm bath. Wring it out so it's not dripping. Then press it gently against the lower abdomen and groin area for about 40 seconds to a minute. If you don't want to use a washcloth, a heating pad on low works too. Some guys use one of those microwavable gel packs you can get at any drugstore, whatever you've got. If you're away from home, traveling at a hotel, you can even use the warm air from a hairdryer held a safe distance away through your clothes. The key is warmth, applied gently, for under a minute. After you're done, pat dry if needed, and go be with your partner. That's it. I had a patient named George from Denver, 69 years old, who tried this technique and called my office the next day just to tell me about it. He said he couldn't believe how fast his body responded. He'd been dealing with firmness problems for years and had basically given up hope. One warm washcloth, 1 minute, and he felt like a different man. There's also a psychological piece to this that I love. Warmth is inherently comforting. It sends a safety signal to your brain. So you're not just improving blood flow, you're also dialing down stress and anxiety at the same moment. 2 birds, 1 stone. A few safety notes. Don't use water that's too hot. You're warming, not scalding. Don't leave a heating pad on for more than a minute or 2. And if you have any skin conditions or circulatory issues in the area, go a little more gently and check with your doctor first. Those are common sense rules. As long as you follow them, this technique is as safe as taking a warm shower. So let's put it all together. 1 minute before intimacy, you do your deep breathing. 30 seconds to relax your nervous system and flood your blood with oxygen. Then you shift to mental focus. One specific, loving memory or a real look at your partner, just enough to spark the right neurochemistry. Then you do your pelvic floor squeezes. 1 minute to prime the muscles that hold everything together. Then you do your mindset reset. I'm okay tonight. We're here to enjoy each other. Mine. And finally, the warm washcloth for 40 seconds to a minute. 5 simple things, under 5 minutes total if you take your time. All of it backed by real science, all of it free, all of it private, all of it yours. I want to say something to all of you watching, and I mean this sincerely. Your age does not define your capacity for intimacy. I've worked with men at 60, 70, even 80 years old who've come back to me with genuine joy in their eyes because they rediscovered what their bodies could still do. The culture sometimes tells men over 60 that this part of life is over. It's simply not true. Your body is still yours. It still responds. It just needs the right inputs, and now you have them. You don't need expensive pills with side effects you don't want. You don't need to feel embarrassed at the pharmacy. You don't need to whisper about this stuff to your doctor, like you've done something wrong. You just need these 5 simple tools, practiced with patience and a little bit of grace for yourself. Start with 1, maybe just the breathing tonight. Tomorrow, add the mental focus. Day after that, throw in the pelvic floor work. Build it up. You'll notice changes within the first week and meaningful changes within a month. That's what my patients report consistently, and that's what the research shows. If this video helped you, I'd love for you to let me know. You don't have to write a long comment. Even a simple thank you or a thumbs up tells me I should keep making content like this. And hey, if you've got questions about medications you're on, about specific health conditions, about anything, drop them in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can in the next video. Your privacy matters to me. You don't have to use your real name. You don't have to share anything you don't want to. This is a safe place for men to learn about their own bodies, and I'm grateful you're here. Subscribe if you'd like more content like this, because I'm going to keep bringing you real, practical, science-based guidance for the rest of your life, not just the first half of it. Take care of yourselves out there. I'll see you in the next video.